Wow, now that is what I call a dirty dumpage. And the crypto market had a little bit of a drop today as well. Gather round, Dumpy Squadron, because Bitcoin and altcoins suffered a pretty quick flash crash today. But the question now is, was that a one-time event, or are we in store for more dumpage? And boy oh boy, is Ethereum now in double trouble as it actually trades below some very key technical levels? The answer may leave you shivering, scared, and wet. And as well, what does this chart mean for Bitcoin's price moving forward? You know what they say, when there's a dump, there's a pump. Sometimes, potentially, maybe. Welcome back, everyone. I am your host, Dugan Dumpage, and we have a lot to be talking about in today's webisode as we started off today's charts with a very quick, pretty drastic drop for not only Bitcoin, but some of these altcoins as well. Ethereum dipping all the way down into the $1,500 range. Currently, it is trading above that, but there was some absolute very massive dippage across the board. So we're going to be looking into that as well. You know, is it F2 pool? Most likely, right? But the question really is now, is this the beginning of a bigger downtrend? Or is this little touch that we have now received on the 21-day moving average the end, and it's off to clear blue skies? Or in fact, are we heading deeper into the pits of pain, suffering, and humiliation? So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications if you're an absolute savage only as well, guys. And without any further spladoo, let's jump into the content. Hickory dickory dock, make sure you knock before you come into my room. You never know what this guy's up to, guys. So if we start here on this weekly chart, what an absolute crazy first day of this new weekly candle. Pretty much massive dippage. However, you can see at this point already, half of this weekly candle is now a wick because we've gotten a pretty big significant bounce already. And it's shaping up already to be a very interesting technical move for not only Bitcoin, but for some of these other alts as well. So let's start off with this. Something we talked about, and this is absolutely insane because we're currently at our lowest level since back on January 13th, roughly, so over a month. The DXY has fallen below the 50 and 21 day, that's key, but now the big thing to note is that we've now breached support of the top of this falling wedge. So very interesting, guys. This is going to be playing out over the next few weeks, and if in fact we do get a confirmation to the downside break of this DXY, then that really leaves the crypto space in a very good position for summer of 2021 and potentially longer. Really, again, this will have huge ramifications on crypto's price for a long time. So we're looking at it now, but again, this is more of a mid to long-term approach, mid to long-term analysis of these charts, because what happens here will have huge ramifications, not just over the next few months, but this could be years in the making. And that topic of people talking about, well, could this be the cycle where Bitcoin, for the first time in history, diverges a little bit from four-year cycles and actually breaks the mold, you know, with institutional billion-dollar companies getting into Bitcoin? Could this be when we diverge a little bit to the cycle and real adoption starts taking place, similar to what we've seen in terms of growth curves of like technology companies in the past, where they have a few cycles and then they just absolutely basically explode upwards for years and years without any substantial bear markets. So again, I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen with Bitcoin, but what I am saying is fundamentally, if watching this play out, this will give us a very good indication of if that could be possible. Because if this trend does continue, then I think that it makes it a little more possible. I think that helps bolster the argument that potentially could be a scenario that is realistic enough to consider over the next few years. And guys, as well, this is really important. This is the entire altcoin market cap, and this is the first time that we've touched the 21-day moving average since February 1st. So this is the first time we've touched here for 3 entire weeks. And this is really good because altcoins have been setting new all-time highs, many of them, and the altcoin market cap has been setting new all-time highs almost every day. So if you've been in these markets, you know that getting these back tests, getting these retracements, evening out some of the momentum indicators and oscillators, good. That's a good thing. As long as we don't absolutely crash below certain key levels, it's absolutely good. And we have not crashed below any very important key levels. And we're going to be looking about that on Bitcoin in just a second here. But overall, yeah, we did get a touch on this. And as you can see, more back tests are better than not getting back tests. It just means it's healthier, in my opinion. It just means that we're going at a slower pace, which is better because as many of you may get excited, let's say next week we jump up to, over $1 billion or over $1 trillion for the entire altcoin market cap, some people may get really excited, but that would be extremely unhealthy, most likely, if we did that by next week. So again, slow and steady wins the sploosh, and that is the most important factor by far to continue. So if we go to Bitcoin's chart, really all that happened was we got a very strong bounce at the 21-day moving average, which again is just one of the like the very first level of a real pullback retest. So that's absolutely totally fine. Even going down to the 50-day is absolutely fine. Remember, the 21-week now has moved up to about $27,500 as of the last 24 hours, since we have that new weekly close and the weekly open. Short term, we do have to watch to see if this is going to continue more of a downtrend. You know, was that just a top indication? Well, you see pretty big amount of volume here. Let's look on the daily chart, the volume here. Not anything incredibly significant from what I'm seeing. Realistically, we've held on the 50 moving average here on this 4-hour chart. That's good. If we go to the 6-hour chart as well, we're trying to reclaim the 21 here on the 6-hour chart. And we basically just retouched exactly where this ascending triangle was before it broke out. So again, right around like $48,000. I believe it went all the way down to, yeah, the lowest so far that's gone is about $48,000. So it may seem a little drastic, but just looking on this chart, we got brought back to prices, new all-time highs of like a week ago. So not anything huge, but it was a pretty quick drop. Very jarring for some people. So we had that. Remember, we had that drop a few days ago. This is more of a drop where I understand more if people get a little more panicky about it. I personally didn't panic about it, but I absolutely understand if people panic about this drop, because this is a more significant drop, right? A few days ago, we were talking about a drop that we had, which you can't even see on the daily chart because it was so small, where I was saying, you know, why are people panicking about it? This makes absolutely more sense if people just got a little concerned in the short term, just because of how significant, just because of how big it was and how quick it happened. But again, we've already had such a strong bounce so far. The key now is going to be getting a daily close above $53,000. So we're currently below that. But as we mentioned in yesterday's video, holding above the very first level of this EMA ribbon is key for keeping this short-term momentum. And if we don't close above like 53,000, then I am going to actually lean towards the idea that maybe this is a short-term top for Bitcoin. We could trade sideways more, maybe just pull back for another week or two, and potentially the same for altcoins. Although maybe towards the latter half of that consolidation, if we do get it, that's when altcoins could actually start maybe rallying again. So this is also really interesting for Ethereum. Absolutely fell out of this rising wedge. And I'm going to be honest, for Ethereum, it looks a little bearish in the short term. Bitcoin looks a lot better, in my opinion, but Ethereum is looking more bearish, considering also it's below the 21-day moving average, which Bitcoin is not. Bitcoin held its 21-day moving average by a lot. Ethereum did not, and Ethereum is now significantly below this falling wedge. It comes down to a daily close, so it'll be interesting to see if we get a daily close at least above the 21-day. But the 21-day, so it'd have to close above like 1765-ish, 1770. If it doesn't, then yeah, we might expect some more downside moves for Ethereum. You can see here on the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing, we've now gotten a complete retouch of this 4-year symmetrical triangle for Ethereum paired with Bitcoin. So yeah, in the short term, Ethereum is looking more bearish than Bitcoin. And you can see here, like for example, Chainlink, it held its 21-day moving average. Let's take a look. Well, PRQ, I personally like a lot. That's an investment I'm extremely happy that I made. That's still looking pretty good. Let's take a look at ADA and see where that stacks up here. Is that a correct chart? ADA went down to 15 cents. There's no way that's correct. Whoa. It's saying it had an 85% drop. Let me use a different chart because that looks like some sort of error, I would assume. Bittrex. Okay, yeah. So Bittrex, yeah, bounced pretty much right at its 21-day. So that is much healthier so far than Bitcoin or than Ethereum. Cardano is actually above its first level's EMA ribbon as well. Yeah, Binance Coin, BNB also looking better. So Ethereum actually looking probably the worst out of these top alts, which is interesting as well. Interesting that Ethereum is looking the worst out of all of these right now. And guys, well, this is the GBTC Grayscale Bitcoin holdings. You can see this red line illustrates every time that they add more Bitcoin. And you can see a very strong correlation, it looks like to me, where the more they add, the more Bitcoin's price continues to absolutely rally here. And yeah, that seems to be the case. They currently have, I think, over like 650 1,000 Bitcoin, so absolutely very, very big. But the question now is, when will they be adding some more Bitcoin, right? Will they be adding more? I know they've been adding some Ethereum, so that is another thing to consider there. Well, so if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. If you're interested in trading, make sure to sign up with our Bybit and Femex deposit bonuses below. Currently on Femex, up to an additional $600 for trading. Never trade more than you're willing to lose. I personally recommend never trading more than 5-10% of your portfolio maximum. And without any further spladoosh, that's all for now. Bye-bye!